It's a new day. Oh, it's a new time. And there's a new way. Gonna live my life hard. That's the way.
Good morning and happy Saturday. Welcome to Cover Your Assets. Now, let's talk about prosperity predicaments for just a minute. Maybe you've got it, you don't know what to do with it. That's the best one to be in. But if you've lost a little or a lot in today's climate, or you're worried that it's slipping away, you're absolutely in the right place. Good morning and welcome to Todd Rooker, Craig Nestor, and Derek Walgrave. Guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly.
How's everybody doing?
Very good.
So tell us a little bit about what we do here, because it's a complicated, busy show.
Well, I think a lot of times people are looking for some place to go for the truth.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of information available on the internet. And that's sometimes it's general sweeping information that doesn't always have the specifics to the family's individual scenario. So the clients would call us and they say, Craig, help us with loan modifications or short sales or deed in lieu, and how do these apply to me? What's free? What's real? Because everybody has a conflicting opinion. The media has a slant, and the banks have a slant. Coworkers, by the water cooler say, well, my uncle did this. Pay your bills on time, not pay your bills on time. Talk to your lender, not talk to your lender. What do they really do that's going to offer them some real-world solutions? And we hear these conversations about raise the debt ceiling, not raise the debt ceiling. Look, we're talking about saving a family's home, and that's some critical information, and we provide them the financial tactics to navigate through an unforgiving economy.
See, and you just touched on your part of the expertise, your part of the iceberg, I should say, the real estate aspect, and also Derek Walgrave specializes in that. Derek, what end of this whole money situation do you work on?
Well, and we can touch base. We were just telling a story about how Jason and I met with a client a couple days ago on a short sale situation. And, the misinformation and the information that they get from friends and family, and, it may not have originated as misinformation, but by the time it gets to them, it is. And, they came in, they had gone through a loan modification for 3 years. And as Americans, we tend to want to do things by ourselves or think we can do it by ourselves. And as things change, you need to get the right information or at least go to someone that knows the right information. And they came in and she's like, yeah, well, look, we did our loan modification, or we tried to. And it's like, well, how long is the process? She's like, over 3 years.
Amazing.
3 years she's been spending on it. And she came in very, very well prepared. She had her logs, she had her information, she did her research, or she thought she did. And for 3 years this drug on, and she got to the situation, she's like, well, you guys were referred out to us, by agents in your office, and I think we know what we're going to do. I think we're going to let the house go into foreclosure because our current situation, then we're not in a position where we get 1099 if it goes into foreclosure. And it's like, well, where did you hear that? Where's that coming from? Well, my neighbor's going through the same situation, and that's what they told us. That's what their realtor, their accountant said. If it goes into foreclosure, we can't be 1099, can't be taxed on, the difference of the sale, and which is completely, misinformation. So they were going to go down the path of foreclosure when they do have the option to do a short sale. And, the implications are, they're vast, if they would have went down that road. And their neighbor, that's what they did. Based on that information, they took it and they said, well, hey, that's our best way. And that's the way, that's the direction that they end up going. So,
which is this brings us back over to Todd here, Mr. Todd Rooker, because it's so funny. These things are very big, looming large situations in people's lives that have ramifications that extend years. And yet we're taking this anecdotal information from every which way. And Todd, you're kind of the center of this whole thing. It's all about the personal finances and the money.
Well, it is. And it's easy to get fixated on one particular issue, go and get advice, counsel, and help in that particular area, and then lose the forest for the trees. There is so much information on the table. One of the reasons, frankly, I don't ever do free consultations is because people will often say, I did a class for Kaplan yesterday, and it's on strategic planning and financial crisis. And, it's to look at all of these different issues. And, you can well imagine a lot of these people in the class will call me up or call up one of my assistants and say, look, I don't want to pay the $250 an hour. I just want 2 quick questions answered. And it's comical because there is no such thing as simple answers to these questions. The complexity and all the things that are related to it, as some of the things that Derek and Craig have talked about, there is foreclosure defense. There's the 1099 implications. There's short sales. There is the credit. There is the legal issues. There is so much to know. If you know of somebody who is dealing with these issues, I mean, this is the place. This is who they need to talk to. This is who we need to call. As I always say, my client is a person who's never missed a payment in their lives often. Now, maybe they've missed one or two at this point, but they're a person who says, look, I've spent my nights laying awake in bed, looking at the ceiling, wondering what in God's name is going to happen tomorrow. So when they come to me, they'll say, Todd, I've not missed a payment, but I am exhausting every financial resource because I don't know what else to do. I am a pay the bills on time kind of person. I'm running out of money. All I'm doing is really delaying the inevitable. And I need to know, do I need to consider a short sale or a deed in lieu or a loan modification or credit counseling or even bankruptcy? Can foreclosure defense fix my problem? Should I be looking at a short sale and moving on? How do I make these decisions? That's my world. That's what I do. Not tell them what to do, explain it to them. And so when they walk out the door, they say, now I understand all the options, the implications. While some of these things may seemingly be, a horrible situation normally, this is actually the time where I can make decisions and know that the worst case scenario isn't that bad and I get to pick. So if you know somebody, they need to go to the Financial Crisis Bible and they need to download that information, because if they can't afford people like us, they need to get the information, make the good decisions. Then they can call up, Derek and his brother Jason to do the short sale because they now have enough information to know that's where they should be. Or they can call Craig and they know foreclosure defense is the direction to go. But without all of the information, they can't make good decisions.
Absolutely not. And I'm glad you said that, because you don't do free consultations, but people do get exclusive access to your expertise during the hour here, live and local at Cover Your Assets. So it's 855-835-8500. That's 855-835-8500. And for the Financial Crisis Bible, go to coveryourassets21.com. Now, guys, speaking of that, you will do seminars. You can go out and actually offer up the services and give people some real-time good information that really is not tied to a result.
We do offer a seminar program that we take to the employers and the companies and the businesses out there in the Twin Cities. We've done very well with being able to sit them down and speak to them about these financial tactics. As a former business owner and Todd and Derek business owners as well, the financial health of the employees is a direct contributor to their capacity and their performance. There's a lot of stuff going on out there, and what we can do is we will go in there and walk them through some of these things. So as Derek says, when you go through a loan modification process for 3 years, that's very weary. It's a very draining
experience. It's like going through a divorce for 3 years or something.
It's a very difficult thing to go through. And, with the loss of revenues and the recessionary job market and your equity's not what it used to be, is there a way where you can get that stuff up on a grease board and talk it all the way through so you understand your position? What we find is that once families understand the real playing field, they can go home and circle their wagons and make good decisions and come on back and engage us, and we can get a result that they seek. So the seminar program works well in a group setting in businesses. Also, we have been used in the past for fundraising events for churches. We would love to be able to get this type of information into a church body so we can take care of the congregations as well.
Yeah, and you'll go in and you'll do your presentation. And I think what's really important about this, because let's just be honest, guys, people don't want to put their dirty laundry out there in front of everybody else, but they can sit and listen, and then what?
Well, and another thing with the situation that people are into, it's identifying that, because I think a lot of people that come in, they think that their situation is this. Mm-hmm. And in reality, it's not. It's completely different, and you can't identify your options unless you know what your situation is.
They have enough information to be dangerous.
Yeah, that's very true.
They walk in, and part of the other challenge is, even when you're professional and you do this, they'll talk to somebody else, their brother, sister's cousin, who knows something. Look, I always tell people, when I talk to you, when I tell you something, I get paid for this. I'm not an amateur. When I say something, I don't care what anybody else says. I'm right, they're wrong. Period.
And you know what? Again, it's not you don't care which direction you need to lead them. You're going to tell them the truth, because you don't have any skin in that particular part of the game.
That's it.
This is Cover Your Assets. 855-835-8500. That's 855-835-8500. And the Financial Crisis Bible, excellent place to start. CoverYourAssets21.com. Coming up, we've got Jesse Kibort from Daniels and Wymore.
Yeah, Jesse is an amazing champion for people out there. He is a cutting-edge attorney, and we're going to do some legal strategies to help you out today.
Here we go.